and the Torah, the Bible. At this deep spot of Boli Teva, come to the ark, which is deep down inside the whole world, is one. We are all one, though unique, and it's from this deep spot that we can all unify in song and praise of God. All the sons and children of Noah, which include the entire human race, have this potential to come to the ark. However, we must all be joined together to be the children of Noah, which means to learn the word of God. To be the children of Noah and to come to the word are one. To learn the word of God, which is what was given to Noah by God, are the 7 essential laws for humanity. They are essential for survival and total joy and happiness of society, breaking down and preventing the breaking down of society. The light of our intellect is what separates man from animal. We can use the light of our intellect to come to the word and understand and use these words to build up society around us and to understand the inner meaning of the word. It's now our job to do a tikkun by opening up and learning new knowledge and sharing it with the nations. The peace, especially the peace we talked about in the scroll, greatly depends on this learning. As the U.S. ambassador of the 70 nations, I propose an organized and sponsored global project using trained teams of educators in a new 70 nations program which facilitates the teaching of the 7 laws of B'nai Noach. This new teaching, besides giving its audience a precise and clearly defined synopsis of these laws, also incorporates an essential starting point, which can be that which propels our audience to a state of mind and being, and which allows them to incorporate the information. This concept revolves around the name Noah, which was given to him by his father, Lamech, in the verse that states, and Lamech lived 182 years and begot a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, "This will comfort us for our work and the toil of our hands because of the ground which the Lord had cursed." On this verse, our main commentator, Rashi, explains the words, "This will comfort us," actually means that he shall give us rest from the toil of our hands. This means until Noah, they had no implements for plowing, and that Noah prepared them for such instruments. The earth was bringing forth thorns and thistles, and they sowed wheat. The prophet tells us in the days to come they will break their weapons into plowshares for all the nations to find pure and true knowledge. In this proposed project for the nations, the idea exists that we will greatly touch on the purpose of the Jewish people by explaining the intrinsic makeup of our world, which receives all of its blessings through the Jews who involve themselves in the keeping and learning of Torah. The goal of bringing all the nations together in this knowledge includes encouraging them to truly sing and praise God. We will teach the public that the focal point of worship is soon to be the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. We will attract the public with concerts, workshops, and classes on everything. The venue will include a high level of creative and meaningful words and music, which will go along with our logo, Boli Teva. I hope it will be considered. With that, I thank you very much. It's my honor to sign the scroll. Thank you for letting me read all this. I felt it was very important to bring the prayers of Israel into the scroll and into this presentation.
Very much. Now you will sign the scroll. And all the people here can sign the scroll. This is right. Okay.
It's the song that you want.
You can play.
זה מיוזיקה אמיתית. הוא בא מהאור של 67. הוא בא, זה שיר טוב.
to say, meanwhile, one resolution that I suggesting, beside the resolution that Mendel will be the chair of the ethics committee, that all this group that is here now is the steering committee of the organization. Everyone that sits here have a vote, and we shall, everyone will write his address and the email that we can start to change ideas between us. מוטי, יש לך דוגמה יפה שאפשר לכתוב עליו אימיילים שנוכחים פה? בסדר? Something more, what Miriam suggested as the ambassador of the United States to raise foundations for the Noach ideas. It's a good idea, but we have to cooperate with the main organizations that exist. There was the Rabbi Uri Sherki that has its 54 branches all over the world. There was the Rabbi Eliyahu Birnbaum, and we should bring him to this committee, and we should ask Chabad to come too, because they have something to say, because the Rabbi Lubavitch make a treaty with your state, with the United States, upon the 7 laws of law. So we are not going to invent the wheel. We are going to give the whole place to everyone that is mixed in this affair, and you will have a say. And if we forget someone, you will say you forget him, and forget him, please apply to him that he will join all together. One more suggestion is that the Merita, the Queen of Africa, will represent the entire continent for this organization. You know, the main engine to pull countries and tribes and states inside. With the tradition of Africa, with the history of Africa, and so on.
The Gemara says, it's a little around, that when Yeshua ben Nun came in with Bnei Israel, there was a holy, special, humble nation. He said, the holy Hebrews are coming, we're just going to not do any harm and let them take the land. And God heard that, it's more Sanhedrin. He gave them a special country, similar to Israel, called Africa. One of the Canaanites, Africa, originally they were from Israel. This is the kind of the word.
To say a lot. You know that according to the anthropologist, the first woman in the world was from Africa, and Chava was also from Africa. And you can find her genes in every human being, and that she is from Africa. So we, all of us, are sons of this Chava. But we should not now make this and so on. חבר'ה, תחתמו, הנה גם אני אחתום.
גם ישראל חותמים?
כן, אנחנו לא מטמאים את המגילה. אתה. אריה ליפו ייצג את החסידות ואת רבי נחמן. In English,
He showed me this today too, remember? I said, oh my gosh, we're going to be part of the Sanhedrin. He says, don't despise small beginnings. That's part of my tour brochure as well. Besides lighting the menorah.
Look at the contrast.
Most definitely. גברתי פה?
know that 11 o'clock we have to leave the rooms. So we have to take our time. We will make a picture of this group all together in this background. The writing, you are also invited.
I'm just observing today.
Okay.
I'm contacting. Very interesting.
Let the spy small
Write down
beginnings.
his email and his name very clearly. That we could find him.
Everything.
We should type it after.
Would you put?
What is your name? Kevin? Yeah. So take a picture of the movie of all this, her speech and so on. You can send it. Like a link. Okay. You have the addresses. Rabbi Aya Lippman presents here Rabbi Nachman presents.
Yesterday I was in David and I got to midnight. Thousands of people. And, I was dressed like King David because I have to do as a Hatzaga. And we feel, everyone said, wow. We feel like the Gula in a something get higher. And I want to say thank you very much to all the friends that make yesterday's sacrifice. It's open something very deep, and it reminds Hashem that it's time to rebuild the third temple. And I want to sing with you a small nigun, prayer to build the temple and to rebuild the kingdom of Hashem in the world, in King David. And after I said something very interesting about the nigun and therapy, calling the nigun from my father. So the nigun, you help me. בנה המקדש, השכינה תחזור לדודה. תודה רבה.
תציג את אבא שלך. לא, תציג את האבא שלך. דוקטור ליפו, בוא תציג את עצמך.
אתה היית.
הוא יודע. The doctor is going to cure the world. שמחליף לך.
אוקיי, אבל אני רוצה יותר פה, כי האור הכחול לא יכול לצלם. כן, ככה מצוין.
יש איזה שלט משהו?
אתה תותת, הוא יחליף לך, אני לא חושב שיש
יש אפשרות להחליף? אתה יכול לשים את המחשב פה.
דוקטור ליפו, 20 minutes. Languages, mostly English.
מה?
לא, כל בסדר.
פה אני מחליף.
הכל בסדר.
בסדר? בסדר? אוקיי.
אתה רוצה לעשות? הכל בסדר.
Okay, I'm very happy and pleased to meet with you. It's a big honor for me. My name is Mordechai Lipo. I am a medical doctor. Last years, already about 20 years, I'm working with the Jewish method from the ancient King David how to deal with stress.
Stress.
אני מחליף. Okay, chronic stress is a very, very leading cause of death. It's very, very bad. Our generation is suffering very much stress. Many diseases are related to this. Affect the heart, the vessels, the immune system, related to cancer, to Alzheimer. So and what we know now, that the stress affects very much the brain. And there is a relation between the what we call the limbic system, which is related with the stress, and
The doctor said lymphatic?
limbic.
Limbic.
Okay, this is the primitive brain. Also in all the animals, they have this system for the stress. The stress is something important. It helps animals to save themselves. Okay, there is a very big danger. So they put all their strength to fight offside, what it's called. Okay, but this is very bad for the organism, and now we know also that it's very bad for the brain. When an animal or man is in face of something very, very dangerous, he has no time to think. So he has to put all his energy in acting and stop thinking. Okay? But the problem is that people use to use this system not when they are in very big danger, but if somebody tells something which makes you angry or that you don't like, okay, or any small problem, most of people are used to get in stress all the time, and they put damage in their brain, in the what is called the prefrontal brain. Okay, you see it here. Okay, and this is the brain which has the ability of thinking, of deep thinking, and okay, and long-term stress really disturbs the brain, not only during the stress but also after. And this, there are new researchers who show it, how it will damage the brain and people stop to be able to have good thinking. Okay. And I say that the possibility of stopping the stress is part, very important part of the Geula, of the redemption.
Right on.
Okay. We see it in the book of Ezekiel. It's also in the Torah. Okay, that there are steps in the redemption. Okay, the first step is people, Jews coming from all the world to the land of Israel. Okay, it's a very, very, very miracle than we see. Okay, but the second step, okay, but a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit, a new heart, okay, to take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. Okay. This is a major problem, the major step of the redemption. Okay. And I say that this is a step where we are now. Okay. About half of the Jews of the world are living in Israel. Okay? But we are not able to change our heart. Okay? People are nervous, okay, and they are stressed all the time, okay, and this affects all our life, it affects politics, everything, okay. So now is the time to change, to take off the heart from flesh, from stone, and to have a heart of flesh. And what I say, that the same as God has made everything so that the Jews will come to the earth of Israel, the land of Israel, okay, and even that many Jews didn't want to. Okay. They have been forced to come to the land of Israel, and with a lot of suffering, okay, because most of the Jews didn't want to come, and only with suffering they came to here, okay, and there was also a lot of actions to bring the Jews to the land of Israel and to have the Jewish state. Now, Ribono Shel Olam, what do you say in English?
Master of the universe.
The master of the universe is helping us to change our heart. And how is it possible? Because of science. Okay, this is now the trend in science, in brain science, neuroscience. Okay, and we now know how to do it. Okay? And I want to show you that the first who knew how to do it, and we have to learn from him, was the ancient King David. Everyone knows the story of the Bible that Shaul, the King Shaul, was suffering, was depressed, okay, was very anxious, was very stressed, okay, and David, King David knew how to relieve his stress, okay, and how did he do it? With his heart. Now, in the Kabbalah, in the Zohar, explains us what was the secret of David. It was not just playing with his harp, okay, and singing, but he knew exactly how to affect the heart of Shaul. Okay, and he was playing with the harp according to the heart and to the pulse of Shaul. This is the secret of David, as it is written in the Kabbalah, in the Zohar. And we can explain this because the pulse is related to the brain. There is, it's called the autonomic nervous system, which acts from the brain to all the organs. And when this system is not equilibrate, not in balance, okay, and the organism doesn't function well and get many diseases. Okay? And in state of stress, it makes this system out of balance. And the idea that when you play music according to the pulse, it makes the system in balance. And this is what we do. We have a system, we take the pulse, okay, and we get application, okay, and we can hear the music that you hear is according to my pulse, okay, and this is, we have a lot of experience, thousands of people, and we see very, very fantastic results also in somatic and also in psychological problems.
Dr. Rico, wouldn't the doctor agree that the main cause of stress and people being all over the place is is consumption of sugar and off-centered foods and tropical fruits and juices and in the wintertime.
I agree that it's one cause.
I think it's the main cause.
I don't think. It's
Of course,
one.
a person has to.
It's right. It's not only the
Sugar.
cause.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Coffee.
also not.
Overconsumption of meat makes you very tight and nervous.
Yeah, okay. It's one cause, but we have
Major cause.
this system. You cannot tell major cause.
I don't know.
This
No, we're-
system. Okay.
We'll have a conversation later about it.
Okay.
That's how to say it.
This is we have to understand. I can show you people who eat very well, good
Very
diet,
nice.
good diet, and
We have to
and they are
investigate
stressed.
each one of these people. Talk about my skin on. We have to see what's really they're eating. Who's a person? There's many factors.
Okay.
I agree with the doctor. There's many factors. I'll speak with your doctor.
Okay. And
אתה יכול לעבוד עוד פעם?
מה? לא משנה. Okay, and this is our idea that to bring together the music and the heart is very effective, and this is the method of King David. This is the pulse. Normally, יש לנו עוד זמן?
זה מעניין, עכשיו זה נהיה מעניין קצת.
אז
It's practical.
okay. In a normal person, healthy person, the pulse is changing all the time. Okay. When you take the pulse, you get a mean, an average, but really it's all the time changing about 10 times in a minute. Okay. This is the balance. The good balance is not something intermediate in the middle, but it's a change all the time. Okay, and okay, it's what you see all the time changing in the pulse, and these changes are due to the autonomic nervous system, what I told before. There is, which if you have heard of the sympathetic, and which is making the heart faster, and the parasympathetic, which is making the heart slower and bringing energy to the body and to the mind. And the